Now, who would have thought we would be referring to the Camino and in the same sentence use the words pilgrim and prostitute? Not only that, chopped off noses.
To exit Portomarín, we find our way to Rua Lugo, which takes us past this square called Praça Conde Fenosa. The walk shifts to Rua de Compostela, where we come across this bus group from Belgium. Theirs is the deluxe version of walking the Camino. The route takes us downhill for a moment. And then we cross a gorge over this bridge before going uphill on a dirt footpath. Uphill is the operating term for the next few kilometers, some of it fairly steep. As compensation, it is another enchanting Galician forest, made even lovelier by the morning fog. I did say it was steep, didn't I? Even the cyclists are reduced to slowing down.
Yes.
The woods open up at this factory complex on the outskirts of Cortepeces, where we get our first look at these young parents taking their baby on his first Camino. The ascent eases up alongside fields. Where we are, we're not quite sure.
How far is it? Are we feeling pretty?
Very much so.
All right. He's always pretty.
We've gone 5.6.
So we should be coming up to Tuxedo.
Sometimes it's just nice to have that reassurance you're on pace to finish the day before dark.
We're doing about 25 minutes a mile, which is good.
But we're doing about 20, and then we're taking a 20-minute break every hour.
Yeah, maybe we're doing 21 or 22.
You know,
just
but
depends
it's
on
we're just
where
it's like
you enjoy your miles.
Yeah, it takes as long as it does.
Yeah.
After 8 kilometers, we pass through Gonzar. And then 1.3 kilometers later, come to Castro Mayor.
Now here's a wonderful but pointless tale related to Castro Mayor. Back when the Moors occupied the area, a long, long time ago, there was a girl who tended a pig herd. And one day she left out a basket of pig snouts as a sacrifice. The next day she came back to the basket and found it filled with coal. So she took one of the lumps home with her, and it turned into gold. So she went back to the basket for more, and it was empty. And that's it. End of story. I don't know. Maybe the moral is don't get greedy. So let's try this one. Maybe a little truer. Seems this section of the Camino used to have a reputation for being patrolled by prostitutes. I don't know, maybe some of the pilgrims came into Santiago with more sins to be absolved than others? At any rate, if one of the prostitutes was caught, as a punishment, she had her nose chopped off. I'm almost certain the pilgrim customer probably just kept on going.
As for our walk, more climbing, and the bare legs come out when the fog lifts. We go another 2.5 kilometers to Hospital Alta de Cruz, where there's an albergue and hotel/bar. Why are a bunch of French Camino travelers so closely examining the roadbed? That's not a rhetorical question, by the way. I'd really like to know. Just beyond them is this marker signaling we have only 78 kilometers to go. Jeez, is this almost over already? The route's rolling hills continue as we walk through Ventas de Neuron, where we stop at the bar. About 2.5 kilometers later, after walking past more fields and woods, there's Ligonde.
Now, in case any of you have been noticing these weird little structures along the way, these are a traditional way of housing wheat and other grains. And you might notice the lip at the bottom, that is to keep rats from getting in.
We pass the Belgium Walkers bus where they get a private rest stop and snacks. Nice! The walk starts to take on the feel of a pleasant, groomed suburban park, complete with sidewalk and mowing machine. We quickly pass through Ereche, not a big place with 23 residents and some chickens. Estado is the next hamlet with its Iglesia de Santiago del Estado. I couldn't find any information on it. The church is a complete mystery in Google land. More hamlets, and nearly 4 kilometers later, Rosario.
For reasons that aren't clear and have been lost over the centuries, pilgrims traditionally made this spot a place where they would recite the rosary.
In a relatively short walk from Rosario, there's this park called Os Chicotes, which in Galician means the boys. Continue on the path for 1 more kilometer to our destination of the day, Palas de Rey.
The town's name comes from the slimmest of stories, possibly apocryphal, where an 8th century Visigoth king built a palace here, and it's no longer around. In its place are at least 9 albergues and 6 hotels. Now, the town has definitely prospered from the Camino, especially its position within the last 100 kilometers. But it was even a big deal back during the first wave of pilgrims. The Codex Calixtinus referred to it as an obligatory stop on the last push to Santiago.
Once in the hotel, our daily routine has been to wash our clothes. Usually, there's only a shower curtain rod to hang the wet socks and underwear, but this time we have the luxury of a small patio outside our room. All we need are hiking poles, chairs, and luggage.
So these are not it?
No,
Yeah.
you are in
So